The telescope is not quite a telescope, but it still works like one, and more importantly, it still feels like one. You put your eye to the glass and then you move left and right to scan a glorious horizon drawn in sunny skies and churning ocean currents. What's out there? What's waiting for you? Where next? This is our favourite moment, our favourite little ritual in Mario and Luigi Brothership. Brothership is the latest in a much-loved series of RPGs in which the brother in red and the brother in green head off on an adventure together, completing quests and side quests, engaging in exploration and puzzling, and getting stuck into turn-based battles. Brothership's best new idea lies with the telescope, and it's also hinted at in the game's name. This time, you see, you float around on a hub that is also a ship. It's also an island, incidentally, and it's called Shipshape, which isn't a bad pun considering some of the ones that we've used on this channel in the past. On this ship, you're regularly tasked with tracking down the scattered islands that make up the world of Concordia, before climbing each island's lighthouse and using it to connect the island to your home vessel. Gather those islands, reunite the world. Simple. From that description, you can probably tell that, thematically, this is all a little muddled. Islands, but you can connect them all via lighthouses? Weird. And almost everyone you'll meet in this game is a kind of anthropomorphic plug socket or computer port. Bizarre. At times, and to be honest, actually any time you think too much about it, Brothership's narrative can feel like the joke adventure that Paper Mario once sent Luigi on to explain his absence from the game. Mario would be off on a quest that made some kind of sense, but every now and then Luigi would check in with some true RPG weirdness. You know, like, I don't know, collecting islands or hanging out with talking plug sockets. None of this matters though, because the ship and the ocean means that every hour or so, Brothership gets to send you somewhere new. You spot an island on the sea, you play a little game to connect your currents and head for it, you spend any travelling time levelling up or side questing on previously explored islands that often change a little over time, and then, when you get close, into the telescope, which is also a cannon by the way, and off you go through the sky to a fresh beach, a fresh world.
Luigi? Oh yeah! Let's go!
Sometimes, but not always, Brothership uses these islands to genuinely reinvent the game. There will be characters to meet and self-contained stories to coax to their conclusions, with puzzles that fit in thematically and set pieces that feel truly joyous and shift the genre a little. These things happen most frequently in the back half of the game, and while we want to say exactly what they are, we don't think that these things should be spoiled.
Oh yeah!
Some of the time, though, the islands are largely just a new biome, a desert, a jungle, a garden, and a home for more puzzles and trinkets and combat. No matter what they are really, though, the stuff within them is still great. The first Mario and Luigi game was more than great, of course. Superstar Saga, back in the days of the Game Boy Advance, was a proper classic, and it was a classic largely because it made so much fun from the idea that you were controlling two characters rather than one. By the time of Brothership, that's all cooled off a little. Out in the world, you can make Luigi jump if you want, but a lot of the time he takes care of himself as he follows Mario around. But you can use a trigger to get him to interact with highlighted objects. And then there's Luigi Logic. Luigi Logic is the game at its most lovable. Every now and then, exploring the world or facing the boss, you'll reach a kind of impasse. Luckily, Luigi will often have a brainwave, leading to a little set-piece puzzle out in the world, or a minigame that does massive damage to a boss. These moments are often pretty straightforward, but they're presented beautifully. A close-up of Luigi pondering, frowning in concentration, and then it all dawns on him. That's Luigi logic in a nutshell. These moments often lead to sequences that feel like the classic Mario and Luigi games. Luigi will man a switch while Mario moves off on platforms that Luigi is then controlling, or through a maze with pipes and junctions that Luigi can turn. The game uses picture-in-picture on occasion, which is always a weird video game gimmick that we are thoroughly here for, and it's just a reminder that at the centre of these fairly traditional RPGs is a special ingredient. 2 players, a knife, and a fork.
Luigi! Ha!
We've really enjoyed Brothership, but we have caveats. For one thing, and this might just be a problem with our patience, we found the stop-startiness of it increasingly awkward. We'll be setting off to do something, and then there will be a cutscene to dismiss or a dialogue section that you can speed up but not skip. It's not just that it tangles the flow, it's that it doesn't really feel like Mario, which, is a series that rarely interrupts players. That said, it's hard to decide if it's the shift in developer to the Tokyo-based Team Acquire that's caused this, or if we're just noticing it a bit more this time around because we've gotten more impatient with age.
Oh yeah!
The other big thing is that the combat system, while fun, is exposed over the course of a long game. It's all good straightforward fun, with Mario and Luigi teaming up to bonk enemies in a manner that requires interlacing button presses as each brother does their bit. Mario jumps, Luigi catches him and lobs him back for another go, and then you reverse inputs when it's Luigi's turn. That sounds more complicated here than it actually is though.
Oh yeah!
There are some ingenious enemy designs and bosses too, and some of these special attacks have a nice back and forth complexity to them as you knock a shell to and fro. There's a new plug system in combat too, which sees you unlocking special moves and modifiers that you can swap in and out, searching for synergies and managing cooldowns. But when you're largely opting to stomp or hammer or pull off a gimmick attack, it can become just a little bit of a chore over time. We never minded battling, but we noticed several times that its puzzle sections, which had relatively few enemies to deal with, held our attention much more. Not just that, it felt like the game was following the grain of its own materials at this point. Brothership offers some lovely sequences, but the mainly decent combat can feel a little too regular of an intrusion. Oh, and accessibility-wise, failing a battle steadily reveals easier settings, but you can't just select easier settings for every battle, you need to fail each battle multiple times. All of this stuff is a little annoying, yes, but while Brothership isn't the series at its very best, it's still a Mario and Luigi RPG, and these always contain moments of colour and wit and invention that we were extremely glad to experience. Mario and Luigi are already money in the bank for Nintendo, of course, but throw in a bit of island hopping too, and that keeps the skies in this game mostly clear.
Oh. Oh.
Thanks so much for watching this review video. If you enjoyed it, please do give it a like, subscribe to Eurogamer for almost daily videos about video games, and why not check out one of our other video reviews that are on screen and clickable right now. Goodbye.
Luigi! Oh, thank you.